Hi, I am David Cook. I am the clarinet professor at Millikin University, and today we're going to be talking about Rose Etude number 15, the Adagio in B minor. A few general things about this etude as you prepare for your auditions. Take note of the slow tempo and the wide range of dynamics that are present throughout this etude. This is about being musical, being expressive, and showing off your artistic abilities. A few specific points I just want to talk about today is, first of all, the very first note, that B natural in the middle of the staff. This note can be sometimes kind of stuffy on the clarinet, and I find it helpful to remember to use very fast air. And your air really has to get through the entire body of the instrument since we're using all closed fingers. A good way to practice this note is to try getting it to speak with just your air. No tongue, no articulation. And once you're able to do that, then you can add your tongue to make sure the articulation is speaking right when you want it to. This might take a little bit of practice, but if you get used to gradually fading that note in, it tells you exactly how much air and how fast your air needs to be for that note to speak. So when you start out, it might sound something like, and you get to feel that point at which you have enough air velocity for that note to speak cleanly and without a bump or an accent at the beginning. Speaking of accents, the accents that are in measures 5 through 6, make sure you have these as gentle accents, not forced. We sometimes might be tempted to play this with a lot of punch on the beginning of the note, but in a slower etude, it's more about a sort of press or an emphasis on the note. Instead of sharply articulating like this, we want something more gentle and more fitting for this style of music, and it involves sustaining our air more throughout the note. You can do the same things with the accents in measure 11 as you descend to the lowest register of the clarinet. When you arrive at measure 12 at this cadenza, make sure you play it with a lot of rubato, very expressively, a lot of getting slower, faster and slower again, especially in the notes that are marked in the small print. I like to think of a slow, fast, slow shape through each of these passages. This is a passage where you're able to show off and demonstrate your lyrical playing abilities and your interpretive skills. Instead of just being very metronomic, this is a place where you can have some fluidity with the tempo. At measure 15, we have this hairpin marking coming up and then coming down, sort of like the slow, fast, slow we talked about in the cadenza. And make sure, even though it's piano, we still hear that rise. It's very easy for this to be played very soft throughout. we do have these crescendo and decrescendo markings, and they really follow the contour of each phrase, and that's what makes them so exciting to play and to listen to, is when we go and add that extra level of dynamics to our performance. It's like listening to someone speak. If they talk at the same monotone expression the whole time, it gets kind of boring. But if they're very expressive and there's a lot of variance in their speaking voice and their volume and their pace, it makes it much more interesting to listen to. The last thing I'll say about this etude is take note of the fermatas, both in measure 32 and at the end of the cadenza in measure 12. Be sure to observe these and take note of the fermata over the rest as well. That is an opportunity for you to create a dramatic moment with space and time instead of just playing. Notice again also the fermata on measure 40. You're doing a ritardando to the end and there's a fermata, so that last note should be quite long. I hope this was helpful. I wish you the best of luck in preparing for your All-State auditions this year. If you have any questions or would like to take a lesson with me, please feel free to email me at dcook@millikin.edu. Thank you and good luck.